Alright, let's start off with a customary introduction on both sides. For the side of Boom ID, you've got Dazzle in the hands of Kezecute. I really hope I'm pronouncing these names right, guys. If I'm not, I apologize in advance. Venomancer is going to be in the hands of In Your Dream. Looks like he is heading towards the middle lane. You've got Clockwork in the hands of Saint Lucas. Again, I hope I didn't butcher that name. Bloodseeker in the hands of Dreamer Cell, and Earth Spirit is going to be handled by Jokam. Meanwhile, FTG, you've got Adam, aka, or rather formerly known as 343 on the Nature's Prophet. You're going to see Bryant handling that Rubik. Nyx Assassin is going to be played by Yang. Invoker in the hands of Alacrity, and that puts Ajit on that Chaos Knight. It's going to be a roaming 4 position Nyx Assassin. He has started off with the boots for that extra bit of mobility. Well, YD In Your Dream, he's actually hanging up on the cliff here. He's going to walk into Alacrity. He's put a point into the Venomous Gale, so the slow is going to come through. It's going to be supplemented with the Rolling Boulder slow, not to mention the Orb of Venom. This is First Blood, and there's nothing that Alacrity can do about it. Rumaidi off to a flying start here, but they're going to cop a couple of hits here as well. That's a Nature's Prophet that's beating the hell out of Jokam, sending him back up onto the cliff, thus securing the bounty rune. If not for their middle laner, at least for one of their cores on the side of FTG. Not such a peaceful start, but as the dust starts to settle, it's still 2 bounty runes apiece, with Boom ID taking a minor lead in the early stages of this game. Gonna have the D-Ward coming out as well here on the middle lane, so Boom ID gonna apply some more pressure. In fact, they will connect with another Rolling Boulder, but probably best not to dive under the tier 1 tower, especially without the Poison Sting on the Venomancer, which really is his primary source of damage. Level 1 Venomous Gale really doesn't do that much apart from slowing them down for 50%. While at bottom, it's gonna be a Clockwork duking it out versus the CK and the Rubik. I don't think the Clockwork's going to be too bothered by this, to be honest. He's up against a melee core in the lane. Those cogs are going to add a fair bit of value. But if he gets lifted without the cogs, he could be in for a bumpy ride. In fact, he's going to get pounded on here by the CK and the Rubik. But he's tanky. He's got himself the full 2 MS to start with. Cogs coming out again. It might get Bryant thinking about whether or not there's actually an observer board on the side, because that looked like it might have been a blind cog coming out. Maybe mistaken. Up top, how they're looking, it's Yang duking it out with Kezecute. Unfortunately, here comes Jokam again with the Rolling Boulder slow, but they don't really have a Blood Ride available. You could see the Bloodseeker trying to get a creep on the back lines there just to get the thirst there. He's going to throw out the Blood Rage onto Adam, so he's going to take some bonus damage here from these auto attacks, which should lead to his demise. To be another salve pop, a dodge on the Rolling Boulder, but all he's done is ended up delaying the inevitable as he loses his life and ends up blowing a salve for it. Not the way that FTG wants to start this off lane. In fact, at middle lane, Veno scores a solo kill on the Invoker. It looks like it was a bit of a close shave there. He's down to a sliver of HP himself. Boom ID off to a hell of a start here. 3-0 in their favor with a 1000 net worth lead heading their way as well. But at bottom, things could be about to change. Scratch that, says Bryant, as he walks in with the lift and throws the Clockwork back his way. Alacrity, meanwhile, staying true to his name and skilling it up, using it to farm on this middle lane. It is the Venomancer that's taken a significant and commanding lead so far. He's at 18 CS versus just the 6 on that Invoker. He's also got 1 point in the Poison Sting at the ready, so those Plague Wards are going to prove to be quite a nuisance. But as I say that, Boom ID could be suffering their first death of this game. It'll be a Sunstrike that's just barely dodged by the skin of his teeth, but Yang will come in and finish the job anyway. Boom ID losing their first hero, FTG scoring their first kill, and it's a solo kill for Yang on his Nyx Assassin. Bottom lane Ajit at 13 CS, but this Clockwork is really having a ball of time here from what I can tell. He's up to 11 CS himself. He's got his boots as well as a magic stick online, and he's also drained out all of Ajit's mana here. No mango available for him to work with, so a kill seems highly unlikely on this Clockwork. That said though, Clockwork doesn't have mana of his own apart from having one cogs at the ready. He tried for another one on Ajit, but unsuccessful. Shokam making a rotation towards the bottom lane again. And without the mana available on the Clockwork, looks like he's just going to be heading back, leaving the EXP for the Earth Spirit. Cheeky stuff from Shokam, kicking Ajit away to get himself a confirmed creep kill. Plenty of rotations early on in this game. You can also see the Dazzle moving towards the top side of the map, but Yang is going to run into him first and smack him with a couple of auto attacks. Looks like the Dazzle was aiming to drop down a deep Observer ward. Instead, he's going to settle for the Observer closer to his own side of the map. That's going to give him vision on Adam, and it might just result in a possible kill. They'll start off with the Poison Touch. This is cute. He's walking in close for that body block, but can't afford to keep doing this. He's not exactly the most tankiest hero on the map here. Also got Yang coming back up onto the top lane. Lots of rotations, but nothing really coming off of it. But that could be about to change as Ajit gets cogged in with the battery assault next to him here. But it is a rotation coming out from Adam to score the kill. Ajit gets cogged, pushed further away, but the Poison Touch will hold him in position and might just secure his death. No, looks like they're not going to get the kill just yet, and Ajit's going to be able to deny himself. Scratch that. It is going to be the Dazzle that gets it with the Poison Touch damage over time. Now Adam duking it out with the Dazzle himself. He'll get the kill and attempts to TP out, but gets pulled in with the cogs and held in position. The Nyx comes into the fray as well and secures the return kill on the clock. FDG walk away with 2 kills over there. Well, 3 kills actually, losing nothing in exchange. But at middle lane, Alacrity is duking it out with that Earth Spirit as well as the Venomancer, and will end up losing his life. In Your Dream, scoring yet another kill on the Invoker. This allows him the leeway of applying some pressure on this tier 1 tower. 5-4, both sides firing shots, but Boom ID finding the more important ones by the looks of it, slowing down that Invoker's progress towards his Midas. He's now got 3 deaths attributed to his name, including the first blood that went over to that Venomancer. Meanwhile, Yang now hoping to block out that rolling boulder. They've got the Sunstrike to couple up with that Impale, and this is what we were talking about, that potential for those stray gangs coming out, one stun into a Sunstrike. But we'll talk about that later, because In Your Dream's in trouble himself. He's going to get sprouted out with no tangos at the ready. And now the body blocks from the creeps as well. Adam's going to walk forward, but Yang will secure the kill. Fire Dragoon. They may have lost a tower at the middle lane, but they find a high value kill on the Venomancer. Problem is, Bloodseeker has hit level 6 and is about to get a tier 1 tower of his own on this top lane. Defense from Yang might be a bit too much to ask for here. Mighty opening up the map a bit and going in further now, going on to Bryant. The rolling boulder and the boulder smash onto himself as well. They're gonna score a kill on that support Rubik. The scores now leveled at 6 for 6, but at bottom lane, again Ajit in trouble. They're going to run him down with the battery assault. With the Venomancer's Poison Sting, they're going to slow him down long enough to get that kill. Clockwork's up to level 6 himself and has that hook shot at the ready, so this feels like Boom ID finding themselves a bit of a power spike, and they're going to look to abuse it right now. They're going in again. They do have detection in case Alacrity was thinking about popping that Ghost Walk, but he's going to be left for dead here. Going to get hit with the Boulder Smash stun and will end up losing his life now. Here comes Ajit, comes into the fray with the stun. It's a 4-second one as well, but the Clockwork with the hook shot and the cogs, trapping Bryant in, will secure the kill. Bloodseeker even going to get some health off of that kill, while Adam's in trouble himself. He's going to get tagged by the rolling boulder inside of his own trees, and the blood right on the floor means that Ajit is going to be following his allies to the grave, giving over a triple kill to the Bloodseeker. Boom ID finding everything they were looking for in that skirmish, while Venomancer even ends up taking down a tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. FDG getting hit hook, line and sinker there. Pop the shrine here as well, and quickly take a look if any of them have smokes on them. Nope, just the one smoke available on the Dazzle, but it's in his stash inside the fountain, so it's gonna be a while before they make any cheeky rotations. I think FDG is gonna have to look for that level 6 on the Nyx Assassin ASAP, and yeah, clearly they prioritized it. He's got the Vendetta online. They've got a Sunstrike at the ready as well. Yang can go hunting here. In fact, he might walk into Joe Cam without the Vendetta. If he can connect that Impale, it might have been a kill. But for now, Adam's going to apply pressure on this top lane before his supports move out to the bottom. Yang under cover of the Vendetta coming in from behind. No sentries to scout out his position here. The sentries still sitting in the fountain courtesy the Dazzle. A straggler has been found. Yang is going to go for this. He's going to start off with the Impale. They don't have the Sunstrike coming in just yet, but with the 4-second stun, that's more than enough of a lockdown to secure that kill. Alacrity will get that kill and make steady progress towards his Midas. In your dream on his Venomancer. He's got his own Midas up and running for a while now, so we're looking for a possible Veil pickup, maybe a Dragon Lance. He's got a lot of options here. Even a first item Blink Dagger may not be too much of a stretch to imagine. It's risky, but could have some huge rewards if pulled off correctly. I mean, he does have a point in the Poison Nova already, so why the hell not? Got the maxed out Plague Wards up and running as well, so this tier 2 tower, the bottom lane, shouldn't be long for life. Well, up top, Adam dodges a bullet courtesy Jokam. Yang's gonna go in and look for that Impale. He will get the Impale, and the Sunstrike's gonna follow it up as well. Yang's gonna find himself a kill at the cost of the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. At least they're finding something though. FTG finding some sort of a trade-off for losing infrastructure on the bottom side of the map. Himself. He's got himself that challenge up and running, so he's fairly tanky at the moment. The SNY not too far off either. Meanwhile, Adam farming what he can in the jungle. He is really poor at the moment, just the phase boots, and he's only crossed level 6. If you have a look at the level charts, that's a level 10 Venomancer. That's well ahead of the curve. Well, Alacrity, he's going to start catching up in terms of EXP now, courtesy his Midas, but his Aghanim Scepter is still a really long way off. The other problem for FTG right now is that Boom ID are going to look to keep pushing, and because of the pushes, because of the successful tower takedowns, the net worth spread just gets further and further away from FTG. Most of Boom ID's heroes are going to be at least an item ahead here. No Blade Mail shenanigans coming out from the Clockwork. He's going to be aiming for the 4-staff as his first item. Right, here we go. Rupture onto Adam. He does have a TP if he wants to try and make a break for this, but Jokum is in the vicinity. They've got the cogs, they've got the Battery Assault. The silence immediately coming through, followed up by a Boulder Smash, perfectly landing on their heads. Adam is going to be losing his life here, but he's going to do what he can before he goes down. The Magnetize triggered by Bryant. Alacrity coming in from behind. The hook shot being attempted with the Cold Snap, trapping him in his spot. They're going to get the cogs into the silence of the Blood Rite, and Bloodseeker is going to continue going ham, but he's going to get stunned up in the fray. Here comes the Venomancer doing what he can with the Poison Nova and the Venomous Gale. They will end up wiping the floor with Fire Dragoon. The only survivor, Bryant, is not going to be long for life. It's a full 5-man team wipe in favor of Boom ID. We'll just walk back and start taking down the tier 2 tower that started it all. Venomancer surviving through that onslaught. So with a lot more money and EXP in his back pocket again. FTG got Alacrity walking around with that Midas off cooldown now, so efficiency not proven to be the name of the game here for him. FTG, what are their win conditions here? I mean, they have some split push potential with the Nature's Prophet. They've also got some decent high ground defense with that Invoker, but without his Aghanim Scepter, it's a bit of a tall order. Uh-oh, Adam could be in trouble here. Joachim's seen him, so he definitely knows where he's headed. He's just going to hold on to that boulder smash to cancel out a potential TP, but he boulder smashed in the wrong direction. They're not going to find Adam. Meanwhile. Yeah, Dazzle, that's not your home. That should be a confirmed kill. Yang scouting him with that Vendetta, giving the kill over to Alacrity, helping with his comeback, and even finding the D-ward off of it. These are the kind of plays that FTG are going to need to make more often if they want to bounce right back here. I mean, the late game potential is nothing to be scoffed at. Chaos Knight can pack quite a punch the longer this game goes, but he's going to need space, he's going to need time, and he's going to need some kills as well if he wants to make a recovery here. I've almost got a Blink Dagger finished up on this Earth Spirit for now. FTG spotting out most of these movements with that Observer Ward on the cliff, but I don't think Boom ID really cares. He's just going to barrel down this middle lane and look to take that tier 2 tower. Rolling Boulder in with the Arcane Rune, so he can afford to be a bit cheeky here, but it's going to come at the cost of some of his HP. No real harm done though. He does have the Urn online if he wants to pop it. Good stuff from from Adam though. He's going to cut off the creep wave, slow down this push while his cores continue to farm elsewhere. But Boom idea, they had the right idea here. They're dewarding the periphery around that middle tier 2 tower, making it ever so difficult for FTG to defend. I'm going to quickly toggle over to what FTG sees right now. They see almost nothing on this side. On the other hand, Boom ID, they've got wards placed down all over the perimeter. FTG looking for the trade on that tier 1 up top, but they're going to be able to scout out this TP rotation coming out from the clock, so no retaliatory kills coming out. Ajit is going to be able to TP out with his life. But with that middle tier 2 dropping, it is the last outer tower that's dropped for FTG, and they've essentially been confined to their own base. Unless they choose to pop a smoke and move about. It seems to be exactly what they're doing at the moment with Bryant and Ajit. No scans being used to look for a target. FTG on the hunt but going in blind. Yang was leading the charge there. Without a Vendetta however. Boom ID though, they've got other plans. They've already entered the pit. It's just objective after objective for them. Almost as if they're daring FTG to come and fight them. Sunstrike. Sure is going to scout out Roshan, but they're just not going to be able to make him time there. 16 minutes in, we've gone well over a kill a minute here, with Boom ID picking up all the outer towers versus FTG and even picking up an Aegis on their Venomancer. Venom's got mobility, he's got survivability, and he's got the maxed out Plague Wards as well, so I'm assuming this is go time for Boom ID. All they've really got to do is siege that high ground until the Clockwork can find a good angle for initiation with that hook shot. Bow switch, they follow up. Adam meanwhile looking to cut off the creep wave to slow down this push, and he's going to be successful for the first time around, but here we go behind. They've already found someone, and oh, it's a big one. It's the Nyx assassin that's taken out for 30 seconds. Bryant however has done the right thing. He's stolen away the Plague Wards and has started setting up a perimeter of his own. That'll ward off the push here from Boom ID. Cutting the creep wave as well as setting up a ward perimeter has essentially bought FTG a few more minutes into this game, and Ajit's been efficient as he takes down that tier 1 on the bottom lane. Good decision making from Fire Dragoon. Luckily, just about 600 gold short of his Aghanim Scepter. That's really when FTG can mount a stronger defense on their high ground. I wouldn't count FTG out of this just yet. Yang is on the hunt again, and this should be a freebie on the Clockwork. He really shouldn't be out here by himself. Yang, oh, he's gonna miss on the Impale, but Ajit is in the vicinity as well. You can already see the entirety of Boom ID's heroes gravitating towards this top lane to give some support to their Clock, but Clock is caught out with his pants down. And he's going to be spanked on the bottom. Here comes IYD. He's going to go in with the Poison Nova. Knowing that Bryant doesn't have the spell shield, he won't hesitate to expend it. He'll find a return kill and they're looking for more. Ajit even forced to pop the Phantasm right next to his shrine. He tags the shrine, stays alive a little longer, but again, it feels like he's only delaying the inevitable. No Grave coming out in time from the Dazzle, so he's going to take one down at the very least. It's a 2-for-2 trade-off, and it might not just be the worst thing for FTG because they're split pushing the lanes. And the creep wave on the die side is quite far out. Pushing this tier 3 may not be possible right now for FTG. Sorry, for Boom ID, and FTG might just be able to apply some pressure on this tier 2 themselves. Meanwhile, Yang continues to find himself in a rather favorable position here as that Nyx Assassin is going to pop a Vendetta and move towards that Bloodseeker. A Blood Rage into a Vendetta hit and a Sunstrike might secure the kill here. He's got to be patient and bide his time. Sunstrike is available after all. There's the Blood Rage pop. Yang, I know he's thinking about it, but is he going to commit here? Apparently not. He's going to wait for them to come into the lane, just watching to see if the Bloodseeker gets greedy here to go for a kill on Alacrity himself. But here comes backup. You've got Ajit walking in as well. Yang continuing to follow him. They are going to get the first stun off the stun strike, but no! They pulled him away from it with the Reality Rift, and Ajit immediately thinks about turning tail and running. There's a tier 1 to TP to, but they're just not interested because Boom ID are pressuring a tier 3. This seems like a rather big mistake coming out from Boom ID, but I mean, that Bloodseeker's created enough space here. There's 4 heroes on the side of FTG that have gone up to that top lane. Now Boom ID continues to pummel away on that tier 3. It is just Bryant and those stolen Plague Wards that will thwart the push. That seemed like a crucial decision-making error coming out from them on the die side. They should have really gone for that defense on the Bloodseeker. Maybe got themselves some kills and then considered pushing. But because of that, they're going to lose a tier 1 tower on the top in addition to the death of that Bloodseeker. And now they're even going to lose the Venomancer's Aegis here. In fact, the Veno himself could be going down. His allies are nowhere in the vicinity. It's going to be a while before the Clock can come in. There's the EMP coming out. They do have the lift to pull him back. Cold Snap thrown upon him as well. Now Venomancer decides to take a fight here. But the Poison Nova, it's been stolen before the Veno dies. The hook shot in from the Clockwork. The Battery Assault taken in as well. Ajit not losing his life just yet. Armlet toggles to stay alive, but eventually ends up falling. Boom ID. Trading 1 for 1, but at this point I think FTG are on the receiving end of these blows because the Bloodseeker runs in and finishes up on the Invoker as well. 2 buybacks are available though on the side of FTG. You might just be forced to expend them here. I mean, there is a fortification available. Here we go. The stun coming out from the Nyx. He catches to the stolen Poison Nova. Tags just a couple on the tail end of it. The Rupture's been dropped onto Bryant and Yang gets tagged by the Blood Rite, but the push continues. The defense will not. Dreamer Cell gonna end up giving up a Blood Rage here as the tier 3 tower looks like it's about to fall, but there's the Impel coming out. Bryant's coming into the fray as well. The silence from the Geomagnetic Grip along with the Boulder Smash stun. It's gonna keep the Clockwork alive, allowing him to turn tail and run. But the hunt has begun. Adam gonna go for, rather Nyx gonna go forward with the Wrath of Nature ticking in. They're gonna get the kill on the Clockwork, but they might be looking for more here. Bryant ends up stealing away a Poison Touch of all spells. This doesn't seem like the best spell to have in his arsenal, but here comes the Invoker in a choke point of sorts, finds the Meteor, upon 2 gets the kill onto the Earth Spirit and follows it up with a kill on the Dazzle. Boom ID not really getting what they were hoping for there, and the tier 3 still stands, which means that the shrines are still defensible for FTG. They're definitely mounting a comeback here, Fire Dragoon, capitalizing on the mistakes that Boom ID are making, pulling the drops further towards the break-even point. Venomancer, whose net worth lead is now being decimated by that Invoker. He's got the BOTs online as well, so clearly split push is the name of the game for Fire Dragoon here, with the Nature's Prophet pushing out one side and the Invoker pushing out another. Boom ID are going to have to make some tough decisions about whether they want to go for a pick-off or whether they're just going to risk losing their side towers in exchange for an attempt on a tier 3 in a lane of barracks. Execute. Oh man, he is just out in no man's land by himself. He's gonna end up feeding his life here to Alacrity. Very questionable stuff from him, walking so far out without his allies in the vicinity. Up top, they're just hoping that the Earth Spirit shows himself in the lane here. Adam's gonna stay in the lane, acting as bait of sorts. Shogun. He's got that blink dagger, so he can possibly blink in and rolling boulder out, or vice versa. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, they're gonna get a stun, another stun strike to follow it up. Ajit with the follow-up stun, they're gonna get a seriously high value kill again, this time on the Venomancer. Meanwhile, up top, he takes the bait, he jumps in, and Alacrity is in the vicinity with the EMP and the cold snap. He'll find himself yet another kill. Boom ID losing 3 heroes across the map, starting with the Dazzle into the Earth Spirit, and then, or rather into the Venomancer and then the Earth Spirit. FDG clearly bridging the gap here. Uh-oh, they even spotted out an Invis Bloodseeker here with a hook shot from the Clockwork. It's gonna tag Alacrity. Alacrity in trouble and is gonna end up forfeiting his life here to that Clockwork. Boom ID finding themselves a recovery of sorts themselves, but here comes Ajit with an Invis rune, or rather with the Shadow Blade at the ready. He's going in behind. Adam comes in, finds that Clockwork, who's gonna force up himself further towards the south side. Meanwhile, on the other side, they're gonna get the Dazzle once again. While they've left the Bloodseeker, he's completely isolated and body blocked and brought down. They're gonna turn their attention back towards the Clockwork next and slice him to bits with that club. Ajit with the triple kill. Boom ID losing 4. And are on the verge of losing a tier 2 tower as well. FDG putting on a stellar performance here in game 1. At this point, it really feels like FDG are just outplaying Boom ID on all counts here, making better map movements, better decision making during team fights, and just overall defending and split pushing the map a lot better than Boom ID could possibly hope to do so. There's also been a bit of a throw element coming out here from Boom ID. I mean, they've been picked off unnecessarily here on the Venomancer as well as the Dazzle, but you know, there's 2 ways of looking at this. Either you could say that Boom ID aren't making the right plays, or that Yang is making all the right moves with his Nyx Assassin, setting up some kills on, well, deep inside the dire side of the map. Yang, once again, has his eyes on the prize and is looking for a straggler. Doesn't have detection on him, so he's not going to see that Bloodseeker walking past him, but instead, he's going to walk into 2 heroes moving away from him. He can consider a pick off here, but that would be super risky. Meanwhile, in your dream, you're going to farm the Ancients, but might just be caught out. Yang, his patience has paid off. The double invisibility. Oh, they've missed on the stun from Yang, and immediately you can see them bail. But Jokam has other plans. He's gonna get stunned before he can hit the boulder smash onto a hero. Instead, though, it's gonna be the clock that starts the fight, isolating the heroes on one side with his cogs and tagging Ajit on the other. But Ajit is too fast. He's gonna turn tail and run towards the north side, while Bloodseeker's forced to focus down that Invoker, who's gonna attempt to TP out, but will be unsuccessful. Venomancer, though, he's tagged Yang with the Poison Nova. Do they have a boulder smash? Indeed they do. They're gonna get the kill on the Nyx as well, and that's 2 heroes down for FTG with no buybacks. Boom ID are gonna beeline into the Rosh pit to try and claim an Aegis. Okay, never mind. Looks like they're just gonna go back towards the middle lane instead. This does allow Ajit and Adam to do some damage on this tier 2 up top. In fact, they're gonna get it here as a freebie. Boom ID, they've just got their eyes on the prize. There is a fortification available, and Bryant, unfortunately, hasn't managed to steal the Plague Wards just yet. Fade Bolt to slow things down. No fortification for the tier 3. Boom ID will take that comfortably. Nyx does respawn in 3 seconds, and the Invoker does have a buyback if they want to make a play here, but instead they're going to go in with a blink, and then an attempted rolling boulder out is going to be unsuccessful. But here comes Ajit. He's going to use the Phantasm and goes into the fray as well. They're going to bring down Jokum on that Earth Spirit, and then they're going to try and turn tail and run with the Cogs placed inside of the base. But Adam is here, gets the Sprout to tag up on that Clockwork. Clockwork probably going to lose his life, tries the defensive hook shot out. but ends up getting brought down nonetheless. Ajit on a mega kill streak, and now they're going in onto the Dazzle, who's been disarmed and brought down. Scratch that though, the Grave is going to keep him alive a little longer, and the Venomous Gale is going to tag 3, allowing them some room to try and retreat. But the Dazzle will fall, and soon it could be In Your Dream as well that goes down. Alacrity giving chase under cover of the Ghost Walk has slowed him down. And Yang comes in with the TP, they've got the Meteor upon his head as well. That'll be the death of the Venomancer, but not before he brings down Ajit himself. Bloodseeker has been spotted here. Adam attempting a Force Staff into a Sprout, but Bloodseeker's too fast. FTG, they may have lost their tier 3, but they do end up scoring a whole bunch of kills there. They've even managed to keep their Invoker alive long enough to get himself a BKB now. It's going to be significantly harder for Boom ID to do some serious damage on him now. I think it's time for Yang to go hunting once again with that Vendetta, but... Oh, that was actually a gem taken away as well. Adam's the one holding on to the Dazzle's gem there. Wondering what Boom ID has up their sleeves going forward though. I mean, they're clearly prioritizing a BKB on this Bloodseeker, and they're probably smacking themselves in the face right now for not going for Roshan when they had the opportunity. With Nature's Prophet Strange to tank it up in the Solar Crest, I believe that FTG could take Roshan quite convincingly. Boom ID have got to be worried about getting picked off themselves, because a pick off at this point will immediately transition into a high value objective for FTG. The scores sitting at a level 28 to 28 now. And if there was any question before, it's now been thwarted that, or rather it's now been answered that FTG have made a full-fledged comeback here. Boom ID. They do have a smoke available on the Dazzle, so perhaps it's time to pop it and make a play here. Yang is heading towards the Yule Scepter. No Aghanim Scepter rush coming out, and then Nyx Assassin just going for the survivability and a way to deal with the silences from the Bloodseeker as well as the Earth Spirit. FTG biding their time, playing it slow, split pushing the map, ensuring that 2 out of 3 lanes are always pushed in while Yang goes hunting for a pick-off. Alrighty, he's checking the rush bit as well, while Yang is looking to set up for a kill here. Ajit is coming in as well. Clockwork, he even expended a hook shot here. This could be a death for him. Yang, does he really want to go for this? Nope, looks like they're going to decide against it. Some real discipline being shown from FTG. Not diving close to that tier 3 tower. The Blue IDs enter the pit now. FTG this time they want to contest. They've got a decent position here as well. They're going to try and wrap around. Oh, they're not going to get the impale off onto In Your Dream. He's going to force stuff up onto a cliff and TP back out to the shrine to make his way back into this fight. The lift is there onto the Bloodseeker. He has a BKB and pops it, but not before the Grave comes out upon him as well. The Blood right on the floor. Ajit with the BKB of his own. They've got the cogs coming out from the Clockwork, but it only seals his own fate. While the Earth Spirit has gone in deep behind enemy lines, he's going to lose his life at the cost of dropping down a Magnetize. The retaliation though will find a kill on that Chaos Knight, but the blink forward from Bryant, the lift onto the Bloodseeker. He's out of mana and soon to be out of life. The Impale will hold him in position. A Sunstrike is landing upon his head as well, but the Grave from the high ground keeps him alive, but the body block from the creeps will prevent his retreat up onto the high ground. And now they're going to turn their attention over towards the Venomancer, who's mighty low himself. Bryant doesn't have a lift just yet, but they've got 4 stars to keep this push going, to keep this chase going. He's out of mana for the lift though, and can't quite lock down upon In Your Dream, who's still gonna get chased by Adam. This is a long and winded chase, but In Your Dream's actually got his HP coming right back up to him with that Blood Rage upon him. All of that is just delaying the inevitable once again as he loses his life. FTG will take the kill and are looking for more. Here comes the Clockwork though, hoping to get Adam. He's gonna cancel out the TP with a hook shot and will secure a reprisal kill on him. 32 to 30, a complete bloodbath that started in the rush pit and ended at the bottom shrine. But all the while Alacrity just chunking away at Roshan, but this has been spotted. FTG will not get themselves this Aegis just yet, but they're willing to fight for it. Ajit will enter the party once again under cover of the invisibility, but that's a dire sentry ward watching his shenanigans. He's back in the pit, going for the objective, but the Clockwork has a bone to pick with him, goes in with the hook shot, Cogs into, the BKB has been popped, and Roshan is outside the Cogs. Rosh finally gonna go down here. The Aegis is gonna be snatched, however, by the Earth Spirit, who's entered the pit. Ajit, his BKB is worn out. That's gonna allow him to get stunned up. He's gonna get forced over the Rosh pit, but the hook shot will chase him. It's a double kill for the Clockwork. Well, Bryant will turn tail and run, but he's not gonna get too far either. He's gonna juke though, with a masterful blink towards the north side. It's not enough. Jokum gonna get the Boulder Smash off, followed by the Geomagnetic Grip. There's another 4 stuff available. All he's got to do here is buy time and shave some duration off of the respawn on his allies, but he's gonna lose his life nonetheless. And at the same time, the middle lane has already started to feel the brunt of this Bloodseeker beating up on it. The best part of it all, you've still got an Aegis available on an Earth Spirit of all heroes. The Fortification expended the EMP and the Tornado down for the count as well, and that'll be the melee barracks in favor of Boom ID. Or will it? They brought down the Bloodseeker. The barracks still stand. FTG with the defense against all odds here. They're gonna make it work for now. The Bloodseeker, he's not available for 68 seconds. Jokum is going in though, and FTG will not be able to defend when the Venomancer enters the fray as well. The Aegis has been triggered. The Meteor right on top of his head as he comes back alive and will lose his life immediately after. The damage has been done. Boom ID have got themselves in a lane of barracks, or rather a melee barracks. They've got to get away here with a clean retreat, but that seems impossible when Adam TP's in on you. And they follow it up with Yang. DG still holding on to dear life, looking to get some buildings of their own. You can see the markers coming down that middle lane. Quick look over at the buyback status reveals that the Venomancer doesn't have one. He's down for a good 70 seconds. However, the Bloodseeker and the Earth Spirit should be back on the battleground in just a bit. Meanwhile, Ajit, he's got his BKB at the ready. While Bryant, he's waiting in the wings to try and find a pick off on a hero that might get greedy here on the side of Boom ID. Scan's gonna be tagged here. Bryant with the lift. He's gonna throw him back outside the cogs. There's the stun coming out from the Nyx as well. But the Glimmer Cape will help to extend his life points a bit. Fire Dragoon. Looks like they're going to be okay with playing versus one lane of barracks, but Clock, he's gone in. Looks like he's not going to overcommit here. His allies are not in the vicinity. Here comes the Bloodseeker though. He's running forward. He's going to get sprouted up. Meanwhile, FTG will commandeer the high ground and try and take a fight. They're going to bring down the Dazzle first. The BKB has been expended by the Bloodseeker. He's just duking it out with Ajit, who pops his own BKB. He's been hit with the Rupture and has the Phantasm to work with. Doesn't quite pop it just yet. He's holding on to it for a while longer. Let's pan back towards the south side where Yang is kiting around that Clockwork, who's coming right back into the fray to work his magic upon that CK. CK's gonna turn tail and run. Alacrity is gonna pop the Ghost Rock and make a break for it as well. They don't really have detection here. Alacrity is gonna be able to bail here, even popping a Shrine on his way out. Boom ID. I don't think this is incentive enough for them to move through the middle lane, to be honest. Ajit is still alive, and it's just a Rubik that's dead while their top lane is being pushed in by a Nature's Prophet. FTG. While they may have suffered a couple of casualties, I'd still say that they're not out of this just yet. What Boom ID can though is take down shrines comfortably, without fear of being retaliated upon. This is turning out to be quite a hell of a game here. FTG have been fighting back with everything they've got, but Boom ID not crumbling under the pressure. Still making steady progress towards their next big set of items. I believe it's going to be the Desolator on the Bloodseeker to add to their damage, or rather to augment their tower takedown potential. Meanwhile, Ajit is queued up a heart and is just looking for the raw strength to augment the damage output from his illusions as well. But here we go. The ninjas on the side of FTG going under cover of the invisibility. The hunt once again, looking for a pick off, but the rest of FTG is in the vicinity as well. They're gonna go in with the stun. That'll be the death of the Dazzle before he can do anything. While the Nyx gets the stun off for Jokum on the top side, they've got the Tornado to tag him up there as well with the EMP drop down. He's going to be able to dodge it for now with the use. Jokum. He's going to blink. Instead, he's going to rolling boulder down while Yang is actually blinked up. And he's going to be spotted by that Plague Ward. Both teams just baring their fangs at each other, but neither choosing to bite first just yet. FTG will disengage with Adam going to the bottom side to keep split pushing, but Boom ID, they've had enough. They're going to move their Clockwork as well as their Venomancer towards the lane there. No Observer was to spot out this rotation, and now Hook Shot will find the mark as Adam, he's got the 4-star forward. He's going to get followed by a 4-star as well, and here comes In Your Dream. Alacrity is going to enter the party as well. He's going to drop down a Meteor going straight for the Clockwork, but Clockwork is hella tanky with the pipe, and Alacrity might just have made a bit of a mistake. Instead, he's going to try and run, but here comes the Clock again with the Hook Shot. He's got the cogs, he's going to cog him in, the blood right on the floor as well. Alacrity, has he just thrown away the advantage here? That's a dieback on him, and he's got no respawn for 110 seconds. Earth Spirit going in forward, they're going to make something happen, but behind Ajit comes in with the BKB. He gets tagged with the Hook Shot and a Rupture as well. A blood right on the floor. Adam comes into the fray with his buyback, but he's being chased and zoned out as well. Bloodseeker not willing to give up this chase. He's gonna bring down Adam. That's a dieback on the Nature's Prophet as well. And this could be all she wrote for Fire Dragoon, as Boom ID have a massive window of opportunity to take another lane of barracks. You can already see In Your Dream just barreling down this middle lane, applying pressure before reaching his teammates at the bottom side who are under cover of a smoke. Boom ID, they're gonna lay the trap here. If they can find a pickoff on the Chaos Knight before any of the heroes on the side of FTG respawn, it's all but over here. Tier 3 is going down, and FTG look like they might just be giving up on it. And with every passing moment, a ward perimeter gets set up here. Courtesy the Venomancer, but there's also the stolen wards coming out from the Rubik. This is the second lane of barracks, and I'm just not convinced that FTG has enough to stop the third lane from going down, especially with the Clockwork hooks in like this. He's got Bryant cornered inside his own base. As Bryant will fall, he's got no buyback for 60 seconds. And once again, Boom ID have the numbers advantage as they'll aim for the jugular, going for the tier 3 on the top side. It's a Rupture on Archie, controlling him up. He spots that BKB, but Rupture does deal damage through magic immunity. He can't move around too much, and indeed he's gonna drop. He die back. Does come out, and that's it. Ajit will call it. GG, well played Boom ID with a well-fought victory in game 1 here. FTG did hold on for dear life and did show some signs of life. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to be coming back with the second game in just a bit. If you've enjoyed, of course, don't forget to follow the stream.